well and healthy and ready to learn new things. So my name is Palak Patel. I'm working in the Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center Navsari in Civil Engineering Department. I'm going to teach you the subject is Civil Engineering, Social and Global Impact. In this subject, we are going to learn Module 2, Importance of Civil Engineering. In this chapter, we have global trades, importance of civil engineering, ancient civil engineering marvels, modern civil engineering marvel, future vision for civil engineering, and future scenario. In this lecture, we will cover global trades, importance of civil engineering, and ancient civil engineering marvels. Global trades. Global trades means a simple logical general development or a change. General development or a change in a situation that affect many countries. Many countries of the world is called global trades. Means automation and abundance. These are the five grand transformations, which is automation, abundance, BRICS, and globalization, climate change and energy, demography and aging, and everything. These five will be calculated as a global trades because this will change in so many countries. Let's understand what is automation and abundance. Automation means to make something which operated. Make something means a machine or some equipment operated by a machine without needed human help. We are going to create something which operated by a machine without needed human help, like artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence did not need any human help. This is called automation. So we are going to use artificial intelligence in an industry level, and this will change in an industry production. Same thing for the abundance. Abundance means a very large quality. Very large quality. Assume artificial intelligence we are using in the construction field, and artificial intelligence will construct so large quality. And same thing, automation and robotics are enabling the industry to produce more with less and less work. Increase efficiency of manufacturing processes, and this thing will be increase efficiency. Products and services of the future are not only performing the basic functions, Assume there is a mobile phone. What is the basic function of mobile phone? To communicate. Basic function of mobile phone is to communicate. But now what we use for the mobile phone? We use the mobile phone as a camera, as a chart, as a learning product, right? So this will be change everything. And product and services are well designed, beautiful, of known brand with positive ethical connection. Positive ethical connection. Now what is BRIC and globalization? BRICS mean Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These all five countries are connected. Connected for the changing in a global economy, technology, scientific, political, and military power. We are going to share in a BRIC. India going to share military power with China. China will share military power with Russia. These things will happen in a BRICS. And same thing for the technology. If China have a better technology, they will share with India. They have to share with India with connection with the BRICS. Same thing with the globalization. Globalization is a process of interaction and integration. Process of interaction and integration among people, company, and government worldwide. Interaction means integration, means a communication, sharing some technology, sharing knowledge by people to people, by company to people, by company to company, company to government, and government to government. This type of collaboration we call this as globalization. We will share our knowledge, we will share our product, we will share our technology on a global market. By this global market, prosperity will be increased. Prosperity means billions more will be raised out from poverty, and we will find bigger market for product and services, and more competition, and more competition by globalization and BRICS. Here is a look, some detail about the BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. I give the year when we connected in the BRICS. 2001 we started a BRIC as a founding member. India is a founding member of BRICS. South Africa joining later in 2010. Now, climate change and energy. Standard of living cannot be maintained without energy, and developing world could be deprived of the same standard that we have. World will simply have to find the way to achieve the same quality of life, achieve the same quality of life by using less energy, by using less energy, and way to create almost all energy from renewable resources. Simple thing, if we need energy, we required resources, and when we found the resources, from nature. And if we use the resources from the nature will be depreciated. So we have to maintain the nature. We have to use less energy. But if we use less energy, we cannot maintain our standard of living. So if we need the same energy, same resources, we have to go for the renewable resources, right? And greenhouse gases is the most likely leading to the significant warming of planet with a dry consequence of life on it. Now, demography and aging. Demography means static study of population. Population study means a census. Now, by the study of the population, we can say the population become much older than today. That means we have a more elder people. And this thing we can see in the European Union. EU means European Union. In European Union, we have so much demographic challenges. Like there is a maximum elder population, and this elder population less optimistic and less risk taking. And this elder population will not generate nation GDP. Now here you can see this figure. Here is the kids, then after some youngers, then up the adults, and you can see here is a younger, elder peoples, and this is a maximum compared to this one. Now, which one is most responsible for the growth of the country and growth of the GDP? These two, right? And these are the elders is not generating a GDP because they are not capable. I cannot say there is no resources for that, but they are not so much capable that generating a resources or growth of country. Now we are going to calculate about e-everything. E-everything means a technology and scientific development. Everything means everything on internet. Everything is on technological base. The field of medicine and biotechnology, nanotechnology, genetics and other new sciences. All these new science technology we are using e-everything. We are using electronic media are there. Now communication is changing because first we have a telephone for the communication. Now we have internet for the communication. And this internet will change people collaboration. And it will change the mass media and will even have an impact on a kind of demography and citizen participation is practiced. Everything is changing human life. Now global trades for India to focus in 2021. This will be changed. I just give some naming here. And these global trades will be changed. First is mobile technology, second is data storage, third one is right to privacy, vaccination and steady economic growth. Steady economic growth. These are the global trades for the India to focus on it. Now automation and abundance. We have to calculate the impact of global trade on a construction basis. On a construction basis. First we discuss about what is automation abundance. Now we are discuss about how this impact on the construction. Construction is a fulfilling the objective functional requirement. Natural forces like gravity, earthquake, flood, heat and cold. Means we are going to artificial intelligence in the construction. Their machines, their equipment will resist gravity, earthquake, flood, heat and cold. Okay. The infrastructure and the housing is abundant in the developing world. Is abundance means we require maximum numbers of housing here because we are growing in population, right? And we have to maintenance and upgrading the housing. We need to improve the houses by the automation and abundance. Now BRICS and globalization will change simple thing. Material means actual building in India. Actual building in India. But design and concept is from different country. Design concept is from different country. Is the effect by globalization and BRICS. Now imagine local contractor involved in a local project. Local contractor doing some local project. But a design could be actually be done anywhere. Anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. Now climate change and energy. Climate change and energy will give a double winner for the construction and associate sector. Construction and associate sector. Renewable energy as well as for the mechanical and electrical energy, we have always be a double winner at a climate change and energy. Because construction will be increased because we require energy, we need some structure. We need some infrastructure. And who build the infrastructure? Contractors, civil engineers. So we require civil engineer there. Now demography and aging. If human talent is the ultimate economic, should be involved in a competition for the talent. Should be involved in the competition for the talent. Because we require a maximum human talent. Electronic communication. These are the communication revolution of chip paper that allow to drawing and printing. So by the digital communication, we can mail or any other method to share our design to the others, right? Now, importance of civil engineering shaping the world. The engineers very important role in every walkway of life. You can say everything is constructed by engineers. I don't talk about civil engineers. I talk about electrical, mechanical, EC, every other engineers. So engineers are versatile minds who build bridges between science, technology and society. You can see everything around you is constructed by some engineers. So engineers have an obligation to meet the basic needs of human for water, sanitation, food, health and energy, as well as to protect cultural and natural diversity. Cultural and natural diversity. Now here is a definition of civil engineering. So civil engineering is a profession, is a professional engineering discipline that deals with design, construction and maintenance. Design, construction and maintenance of physical and naturally built environment. Physical and naturally built environment including public work such as roads, bridge, canal, dam, airport, sewage system, pipelines and structural components of building and railway. If engineers deals with this type of functions for the design, for construction and for the maintenance, it's called civil engineer, right? Now we have the role of infrastructure development. Infrastructure facility means a good surface communication. We have to provide some facilities for the good surface communication, like we have to provide a road, water supply distribution system, provision of drainage system, supply of electrical power, provision of inland communication line and construction of recreational place. Construction of recreational place. Now role in the society. Role in the society increasing health and quality of life. For the society, what a role of the engineer? We are going to increase health and quality of life and design the building, improve agriculture, direct greatest resources in nature for the best interest of mankind, contribute to economic growth and to environment protection. Now for the sustainable development, what we have to do? For the doing sustainable development, we have to optimize the use of sun. We have to maximum try to use sun energy. Indoor air quality, using land responsibly, creating high performance houses, wisely using earth natural resources. These are the definition for the these are the role of sustainable development. Now we have some ancient civil engineering marvels and wonders. Let's check. Okay. Now first of all, Pyramid of Egypt. We call this Pyramid of Giza. You can see this image. Now this pyramid is located in Egypt, and the most Egyptian pyramid are found at Giza, on the left bank on Nile. The Pyramid of Khufu is the largest elaborate Egyptian pyramid. Khufu. It is one of the 7 wonders of the world and built during time when Egypt was one of the richest and most powerful civilization in the world. Richest and most powerful civilization in the world. The second one is Roman Aqueduct. So Roman Aqueduct is located in Italy, constructed at 145 BC before Christ. Used to bring in water from mountain to the cities. Bring the water from the mountains to the cities. And these aqueducts work on a gravity alone. Only gravity effect are there. There is no pumping system. Only gravity. Most conduits are buried beneath the ground and follow the contour of the terrain. Contour of the terrain means what? Look at here. Give me a second. These are the Roman aqueduct figure. You can see they maintain the contour. Maintain the contour. These are the some portion is underground and some portion is aqueduct bridges. In the modern aqueduct, you can see, and we have to use some treatment plant and then we reach at the city. Right? And most aqueduct system include sedimentation tank, which help to reduce any waterborne debris. Okay, we have a sedimentation tank in a Roman aqueduct. Now, Great Wall of China. You can see here is a figure of Great Wall of China. In location is China, built in 7th century BC and continues by several different Chinese dynasties. There is no fixed dynasty which constructed it. We don't know. So wall aim to protect the borders of the country for the intrusion. Apart from the defense, other purpose of the Great Wall have border control, allowing imposing of duties on the goods transported along Silk Road and control immigration and emigration. So there are not only for the defense. Okay, there are Great Wall of China is not only for the defense. Now we have the Pantheon. The Pantheon location at Greece, built around 438 BC. It served as a temple at certain point in history. Okay, and then after it's converted into Christian church. And architecture of Pantheon is impressive. Stone used to build were carried and laid and placed by a hand. There is no equipment for the construction. Now you can see Roman Colosseum. Roman Colosseum in Italy. It built as a stadium. To provide 50,000 visitors in a multiple sitting configuration. Its foundation of concrete and stone. So 8 awning cover arches are there. 80 awning covered arches are there. Right? You can see here is the arches. Now we have a Sanchi Stoop. Sanchi Stoop location in Madhya Pradesh, India. Stoop is a hemisphere-like shape known as stupa. Built initial construction in 300 BC and built to shelter the remains of the Buddha. And these features of Sanchi Stoop we have carved gateway, doorway with storytelling carving, and top level platform we have. You can see here is a storytelling carving and here is a top level platform. Now this next one is Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal located in Uttar Pradesh, India, built between 6031 and 6048. In between this, built by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan to his late wife Mumtaz, made by using lustrous white marble. Islamic architecture made with Persian and Indian design. And Taj Mahal is inscribed by the UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. Taj Mahal was inscribed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. Now here is a Chain Borai. Chain Borai location is Rajasthan, India, built in a 10th century. Built as a step well. One of the world's deepest step well, around 3,500 steps, and these all the steps are put together in a zigzag fashion. You can see here is a zigzag fashion. Yeah, here is a zigzag fashion, you can see. And without sophisticated tools, we don't use any special tools for this type of design. Now here is a Mohenjo-daro. You know about Mohenjo-daro. Mohenjo-daro is a location in Pakistan. Around 5,800-year-old structure. 40,000 occupants was built on an idea of city planning. Complex but a carefully laid down sewer. Complex but a carefully laid down sewer paid attention to the city's design. Paid tremendous attention to the city's design. Now we have a Saint Basil's Cathedral. Saint Basil's Cathedral is built in the 16th century, is in the list of the UNESCO World as a World Heritage Site, built by Ivan the King, and this aim only showcase the military power. Showcase the military power. There is no other function for the Saint Basil's Cathedral. It is only for the military power. Now here is some practice questions. Explain the importance of civil engineering in shaping the world. Write short note on Sanchi Stup, Taj Mahal and Chambora. I teach everything to you. So in the next lecture we will start at modern civil engineering marvels. Till then, goodbye and thank you.